So, as you might be able to hear from my voice, I am a little bit nasal. I caught a cold, unfortunately, and I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. So, I was initially going to postpone recording something for a few more days, just so I could get my head in place and I can exhale through my nose properly again. But after just fiddling around with, well, command blocks and redstone on a random world, um, not with any particular intent in mind, I discovered something that I thought was definitely worth making a short video on. So that's exactly what I'm going to treat you to today. So, as you know, um, redstone signal strength caps at 15, right? So if I uh, get out a lever and flick it on like this, then you can see it outputs a signal strength of 15, and that decreases by 1 extra for every new block it travels, and that is taxi cab distance, of course. But as you also probably know, if you take, for example, a signal strength of, say, well, what's this going to be? Right, 11, and you put it into the backup comparator, you click the comparator once, so the torch at the front is activated, and then you put a different signal strength into the back, then it's going to do something fancy. It's going to subtract the side signal from the back signal. So 11 minus 7 is 4. So at the front, it will output a signal strength of 4. So if I then make the back signal strength 15, then 15 minus 7 is 8. So it will output 8 at the front. So combining those two things, you end up with a situation that isn't really that flexible, because you have a maximum of 15 going into the back and 15 going into the side. But something I've known for a while is that command blocks can actually output signal strengths when you use the test for command. So I've got a repeat and always active command block here that's testing for an armor stand of the name +1. And the reason why it's called +1 is because for each new armor stand that I introduce in the world with that name, it will increase the signal strength by 1. So we currently got one armor stand in the world with the name +1, which means we have a signal strength of 1 coming out of this comparator. If I summon another armor stand with that name, you can see we've got 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So I can just keep flicking this lever, and eventually, in just a second, I'll reach 15. There we go. So we've currently got 15 armor stands with the name +1 in the world, which means it outputs a signal strength of 15. You've heard it all before. Which also means that if I flick this lever on, then we're going to get a signal strength of 0, i.e. no signal whatsoever, because 15 minus 15 is 0. But then I wondered, and I do a lot of that anyway, but I wondered, I thought, what if I keep going with the arm stands? What if I don't stop at 15 and I keep going? And nothing was really surprising about these initial results, because signal strength caps at 15, which means there's nothing fishy going on there. But then I use this comparator trick still. We currently got 16 armor stands in the world with this name. So what's going to happen? Either this when I flick this lever on, because this signal strength is, well, it caps at 15, then it's going to still output 0, or something different happens. And what happened was indeed something different that really took me by surprise. A signal strength of 1, which suggests that this comparator is actually outputting a signal strength of 16, because 16 minus 15 going to the side equals 1. So this is really weird, and I kept going. So currently got 17. 17 minus 15 is 2, so we get a signal strength of 2 going into the front. And I kept going. I kept going, and I kept summoning armor stands in this world. And I eventually reached 15. And this is crazy, because what this suggests is that this comparator is outputting a signal strength of 30, which is double the cap that we're used to. Because 30 minus 15 that's going into the side is 15. So you get this impossible looking situation here, where even though this comparator is in subtraction mode, and 15 is going into the side, we have the full signal strength of 15 coming out the front. This is mind-blowing, and it of course works in the opposite direction. I can decrement it by punching one of the armor stands. You can see it goes down to 14, and 13, 12, and I can keep decreasing that. I'm sure this interests you as much as it did me. So currently we've got a signal strength of 20, because 20 minus 15 is 5. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't very useful, because, well, quite obviously, you know, this still caps it at 15. But I suppose if you use some interesting logic and whatever, that only enables the side value occasionally, you could potentially get 30 different outputs. I mean, I don't know. It's certainly something to investigate, and I wonder if maybe there's a method of doing this that is survival friendly and doesn't use command blocks. I thought I'd put this concept out there because there are people out there who are much smarter than me and will be able to investigate this with a much fuller head of knowledge than I'm going into this with. But I hope this is interesting. It certainly interested me, and I'm gonna stop recording and probably go into doing some more testing of my own. I hope this is interesting, and I'll see you in a proper fully fledged video when I feel a little bit better. Bye bye.